Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Mystics Outlook. We got Cardo Dudley Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. For talking to you guys this early, it is, in fact, a camp day game for the Washington Mystics. This was the first of two games this week at Eagle Bank Arena out in VA. They held on against the Sky in this one for the 81-79 win on Thursday. They'll host the Aces. But for Washington, credit to them for holding on in this game. Maybe made things a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, for sure. And we'll get to some of those reasons. But Cardell, your thoughts on them, with this win? It brought them one game closer to 500. And as of right now, I know it's really early, but just taking a look at the standings as we approach the All-Star break, they got 3 more games left until the break. But they're 9th in the league at this moment.
Yeah, hard-fought win. It looked like they had it under control in the third, and the Sky got going. We all know, despite their record, they're a scrappy team. They're physical. They're going to compete to the end. And, they they gave the Mystics a run for their money down the stretch. But nonetheless, man, the Mystics held on. So some big-time plays down the stretch, man. And, you know what I mean? Sykes and Suggs getting that paint touch, back-to-back plays. And for whatever reason, the Sky defense broke down the same way. Shakira was left wide open the road to the basket. They found her, and she made the layup when Sykes found her the first time. Then the second time, she had the game-winning free throws to get the win, man. So, tip your hat off to them, man. It wasn't obviously their best performance. A big reason why the game was close. They missed a lot of free throws. And they didn't shoot well at all from the field. Normally we kind of be looking at the turnover department, but 13 you could live with that. But when you shoot 54% from the free throw line, the other team shoots 76%. You 4 for 15 from deep. The other team is 6 for 19, and then the other team, the Sky, shoot 45% from the field. You shoot 42% from the field. Typically, that means you lost, just straight up. And then on top of that, they had about the same amount of turnovers. The Sky did. They had 15. Actually 16. My apologies. But what killed the Sky and what favored the Mystics, obviously, was the points in the paint. The Sky couldn't keep the Mystics in front of them all night. And that was just something they can go to if they didn't settle for long-range jumpers. Washington outscored the Sky 46-30 in the paint. Outscored them 16-4 second chance points. Outscored the Sky 28 in fast break points. Bench points was 22-11. And they had 14 points off of the 16 turnovers from the Sky. On top of that, even though the Mystics didn't make them pay with the free throws, they went to the line 31 times because the Sky had 26 fouls, and that's just more damage from them not being able to guard them and keep players in front of them, man. And that's something they got to address, man. But regardless, that's what did the Sky in, and that's what saved the Mystics. The Sky was so poor defensively. The Mystics, when they did have opportunities, they scored. Outside of that, when they had to play in the half court and really execute and get a play, that's when they were missed, or times they didn't score inside of when they go to free throw line, and it was hit or miss throughout the night, man. So hell, if they'd have just lived up to their usual standards, their averages or percentages, then it's not even a close game. You know what I mean? So, but you gotta give credit where it's due, man. That's why you play the games. It's a chess match, and you figure out ways to try to, keep it competitive, man. Obviously, the hometown girl, Angel Reese, had a monster night, 22, 15, and 4. She had 5 fouls, man. It was a tough night. She can't guard everybody. They didn't target her because she's incapable of guarding. Defense has always been her strong point. They targeted her to get her up off the floor, and her trying to save baskets because she recognized, obviously, they were killing them inside the paint, man. But credit to her, she's getting better and better. And that needs to be, broadcast as much as the other BS surrounding her, man. When you're getting it done, you gotta get credit where it's due, man, because take her production out this game tonight and what is happening, and it's very ugly.
She's been on a tear. Like, she's legit been on a tear. Like you said, the first maybe 6-7 games excluded. Once the arrow shifted, like, it's really shifted. And honestly, you talk about taking her out this game tonight, they got to the line 25 times, right? 15 of those were her.
Yeah.
So again, you want to talk about another reason Chicago was in this game.
Right, exactly.
She had the entire Mystics front line in foul trouble. Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. And you can't knock Elizabeth Williams. You know, turn back the clock, 20.7 rebounds on 9 to 17, man. So, they had some bright spots. Rough night for Ariel Atkins, having to deal with Sykes. That was a back and forth. They pretty much even each other out outside of, Eric Atkins being in foul trouble. But yeah, man, it just came down to who executed better on both ends of the floor. And that was the Mystics, despite, how bad they shot and whatnot, man. So this was a this was a slugfest in a sense, and it wasn't the most pretty as a game. You was coming here to see a lot of shot making. That wasn't gonna be the case. But if you was coming here to see some hard, competitive, intense basketball, then this definitely was a game. So, much needed win for the Mystics rebound and see if they can keep it going against the Aces when they come into town on Thursday.
Yeah, it was just an old-fashioned rock fight. It was tough out there. Both teams were doing a great job. Outside of Washington, and again, we were just talking about Angel and the credit she deserves for her players of late, especially in this one. Outside of Washington, maybe not being super disciplined in terms of defending Angel with the way that she goes in the paint, she does a great job drawing contact and getting to the line. There's a reason Chicago shot what they shot from the floor as well. They outside of the two bigs for Chicago, Washington did a good job on everybody else. I think I thought they struggled at times, just maybe a couple lapses with Rachel Banham. For those who may be new to the WNBA, Rachel Banham was one of the many players that was, I'm talking about a bucket in all caps in college. In the league, she's a top. She's one of those people where you don't give her space. I don't care what's going on. You never want her to see a couple go in. She sees a couple go in, she's liable to have a night. She's just coming off a game where she was 6 for 10 from three. And this one, she's 3 of 6. So, it's a couple times Washington tried or started to pull away and went under a screen. Bam, knocks down a 3. I think late in the game, they go up 2. It's 79, 77. Either I think it was 2 or 3. And I think next trip down, Sutton's, barely gives Bainham some separation. And it wasn't even a great screen, kind of like a ghost screen. And Bainham wasted no time, knocks down a 3 to cut the deficit. Erase the deficit for Chicago. I knew we were talking about mentioned. That report came out last week before, talking about with the Leah or whatnot. I thought this was a great game to show why all 3 bigs are needed. All 3 bigs played a role in this game. And you needed all 3 of them to deal with the night that Angel and Elizabeth had. Because of the foul trouble, you needed all of them. In the 22 bench points you mentioned, all those bench points came in the first half for Washington, which was huge. They needed that. Like you mentioned, unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize on it enough to sustain the separation they did get. But you needed them. You needed every bit of it.
Yeah, she started strong.
Mm-hmm. You needed everything you got for them to 11 bench points from Chicago. In rock fights, you need everything you could get because everyone's not having no one's having a free flowing offense. So credit for Washington for being resilient enough to come out and win this game and we've seen kind of like the maturation for them. We know how young they are. These are the games at times they might have dropped earlier in the season. And again, they escaped with a dub. That's the headline. But again, I think there's nothing wrong with mentioning. I think Shakira in the post game mentioned, I know she was talking about herself, but just making things complicated at times. They should have won by more. They had opportunity to win by more, but they made it complicated again. And the hope is, as they continue to go forward, good teams capitalize on those moments. And that's somewhere they got to work on getting to for sure. But again, man, they one game out of 500. I can't get mad at it.
Yeah, and that was the 46-second mark in the fourth where Banham hit that 3.
Thank you.
It was from NBA, and it was from NBA range. So, reiterating your point, from about just under 25 feet. So, yeah, you can, and you saw that from the beginning. Whenever she was just trying to dribble, players pressed up. They understood what the assignment was, man. And then the thing is, even if she missed, they got so many rebounders down there that can clean up. So if you're a shooter, that's the ultimate freedom. Like, cool. And it takes the pressure off you. Whereas, yeah, if I don't make this joint, bang, they come right back. So, all the same, man. Hard for a game, man. It's gonna be games like this.
For sure. And again, the important thing is we're not here talking about opportunities that's an opportunity that slipped away from them. I also thought I know Chicago won on the glass, I think like 39-38. Hey man, keeping them from setting offensive rebounds is, it seems crazy when you say it, but Chicago excels on offensive glass. So to beat them on offensive glass goes a long way. I don't care how much it is, and we saw how close this game was. A couple more offensive rebounds. Who knows how this ends up, considering what was going on with the free throw line for Washington. And again, if they're at their average with the free throw line, it's a little bit more comfortable. But 17-31, man. Yes, also, it was great seeing Shik Sutton back. Her value again. Last game, you could see you could feel her absence last game. And we were talking about that stretch she had before she got injured, how important she was for Washington, and it was good to see her back today. It wasn't a huge night, but plus 20 in her first game back.
Her defense, and she set the tone early when she ripped Kia. At half court. That's what she brings, the ball pressure and stuff like that, man, and that matters. Especially when you like the team like the Sky, they got so many quality bigs. She's a pest. She's roaming. That delays you getting into your set to try to exploit mismatches and stuff and try to get the ball into your bigs, man. So yeah, the guards were never really comfortable out there, man. So that's her value. If she give you double-digit points, about 4 rebounds, 4 plus assists or something, that's extra. But her value is running the team and making life miserable for opposing guards or ball handlers, whoever bringing it up.
For sure. Player of the game for you in this one.
Man. I'm gonna give it to Shakira, man. She's the game winning free throws. Had a rough start. She started 0 for 4, picked up a lot of fouls. But she stayed with it, rebounded, finished with 15, 8 and 4, a couple steals, a couple blocks. She had 5 fouls and she was able to just stay on the floor, and then she hit the big free throws. So the game, man, especially she struggled. A lot of those free throw misses was her. She struggled mine, but she hit the big ones that mattered the most, and and that's how it worked, man. The coaches ain't gonna forget, but the fans gonna forget because they're like, we won. So that's the thing, man. But yeah, and that's why she was, not frustrated, but just like what she said. You echo what she said in the post game, just like, man, we did a lot to ourselves, but we managed to hold on. Yeah, that was that. 5 of 13 from the free throw line is tough. And normally you lose those games, man, but that's not normally her. So it's just something she got to do better. But definitely, she the player of the game.
Yeah, and I was just gonna go for legit everything you added. Only thing I've added is just her ability mentally to stay with it, to not lose herself in it, because obviously the impact that she had on both ends, they needed her. You mentioned the foul trouble, and she did a great job reacting to those paint touches by the guards. Like you said, when Sutton and Sykes got 2 feet in the paint, she timed those cuts very well. And hey man, that's easily a 20-point plus night tonight. This afternoon, if she's average from the free throw line. But again, like you said, hit the big one. So man, can't get mad at X Factor who you have here.
Man, I might have to go with C-Tron. No, Kiki, double, but 9 points and 7 rebounds and 2 assists of that came in the second half, and that's when the Sky made their run and made it the game. Same thing with her. She was kind of dealing with fouls early, struggling, and she stayed with it and bounced back. And finished with a double, and they needed every bit of it. She don't get about 5 on the boards. Angel got like a 20-20 game, you know what I'm saying? And then the outcome may be very different. So, yeah, I'll give it to her. She was the X Factor because, especially be a rookie. And I think by now she understands when a player's going to work and you see the type of night that Angel's having and all the bigs are up and down to begin with, but Angel just having her way, it can deflate you as a rookie. But she stays strong, she stays mentally tough, and that's the thing. That's why she's an all-star already. Mental toughness is everything at the pro level, man, and she obviously has it, man. So gotta give credit where it's due, man.
For the same reasons that I was on board for Shakira for player of the game, right here with Kiki for this. As you mentioned, as an all-star, what we got from Citron, what we saw from Citron tonight, expected. It's what she normally does, right? I think it's wrong to be like, hey, that 13-8 was huge. It wasn't a game winner. This is what we've come to expect. It's been consistent, right? Like you said, the two bigs just start struggling in a hole like that. She took that, she got hit in the head early in the game and then had to get back in it. Yeah, man. Just both of them to see it through, and they needed them. And again, it's a young team. And when you have to count on young players, still counting Kara in that too, have to count on young players, that's kind of tough because you never know how, weird and wonky games might be, how that could affect them at times. And I thought they did a great job bouncing back from both their respective issues in the first half. Hey, man, it was big. And Kiki hit some big free throws too. And now they had to offset what Reese and Williams were doing. They didn't completely offset it number-wise, but hey, man, they came up big late. So credit to them for that. Got some comments we'll get to. Pretty much just officiate. MG's not a fan of the officiating. And this with both comments. So we had this one and followed it up with discussing game should have definitely went to OT.
MG, are you a Sky fan? That's what I'm trying to figure out, man. Look like you're a Sky fan. Like I get it. That last goal on Shakira honestly was tough, but that's not the reason why they lost. I just stated a number of reasons why they lost. Preferably points in the paint. Got to keep people out of the paint, man. Got to keep. Hey, man, like it's maybe you just wanted to see more basketball. Cool, but regardless, that's not the reason why they lost, man. The Sky had a lot of. It took the Mystics beating themselves in many areas to even make it a game. Like had they just played the average game, what their season average is, they went by double digits. So that's not that I mean, refs gonna ref, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some good calls and some bad calls, man. That's part of it. So just like I'm pretty sure you focusing on that last call where it looked like it was a clean block, but I couldn't see behind Shakira, but it looked like it's a clean block. I can bring up a million other plays throughout the game where, the Sky got the benefit of the call, and it wasn't one for instance when Shakira and Angel got hooked, and Shakira arms was literally up, and then Angel went, and then she looking at the refs like, yo, then she tried to reach out, like, and that went against her, and she had like 3 fouls at that point. You see what I'm saying? And it is what it is, man. But you gotta play through it. You're gonna have games like that. They're professionals. You gotta play through it. And it could be like that again on Thursday. What you gonna do? Be down. So you just gotta play through it and just control what you can control. And if you do that, man, you more than likely should be fine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for the officiating thing, man, they've been consistently inconsistent all year, no matter what the crew is. So you got to deal with it. It's not changing. But again, it's Cardell, you talk about the things you can control. That's what you got to focus on for whatever team it is that you follow. Being down 16 points in the paint is not good. Losing by 12 in fast break points, also not good. Those two things, you're usually in trouble if that's what happens, right? Mm-hmm. And the saving grace is, well, Washington did not shoot from the free throw line. They shoot average, coupled with those two things, 46-30 in the paint, 28 fast break points, whatever they officiate, man. Like, we're having a totally different discussion. Like, those are things that hurt Chicago in this one. Like that, despite the night that the afternoon or what have you that Reese and Williams had, Washington got almost 50 in the paint, 46 of the 81 in the paint.
Yeah. Washington shoots just under 75% on the season from the free throw line. So what they shoot tonight?
54.
Come on, man. So I'm gonna try to see what's 54% of 31. So yeah, so people understand how much they would have won by. You know what I mean? Which is, like I said, would have been close to double digits. I think it's about 23 out of 31. Yeah, about that average, 23. So that's 6 extra points. They win by 8 if they just shoot in their average.
Yeah. So again, big games from the two bigs for Chicago, and for Washington. Many contributions in this one. You know, all the bigs made an impact. You know, both your all-stars made an impact. Hey man, group project survived. You're 9-10. You got a chance with the Aces coming to town on Thursday. You have an opportunity to get back to 500 for the second time this season. So, you know, we'll see what ends up happening. Go ahead, Cardo. You have something else you wanted to add?
That last thing she carried, like I said, she shoots 70% from the field from the line. So tonight she was just off, just bad night at the line. But she convert her free throws. We're not even having this discussion. Overtime's not even in it.
Yeah. But again, we appreciate y'all as always. Everybody tuning in, that tuned in now, and then we'll watch this later on the channel. Appreciate y'all. We'll tap in with you guys again Thursday night after Washington takes on the visiting Las Vegas Aces. Again, that'll be the second game this week in Virginia at Eagle Bank Arena.